All right, welcome to another episode of Real Estate First Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have the one and only Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining us today. And today we have a very special guest all the way from Florida. This individual helps buy-side, sell-side, and investors in South Florida, luxury real estate advisor with Compass. We have Steve on Real Estate First Technology. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Steven Kupchan here with Luxury Advisor Compass in Miami Beach. I service all of South Florida, anywhere from Fort Lauderdale all the way down to Coral Gables. My specialty is the 1 million range, and I do commercial as well. And that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, welcome to the show. I said Steve, and then you said Steven, so we'll make sure to keep on with Steven. It sounds like that's probably more like how you like to be introduced. And so the show is all about you, man, and your business. Want to just kind of deep dive into that. So tell us a little bit about your beginning. So how long you've been in the business? What made you get into the real estate business? Just to kind of kick off the show.
Yeah, great question. So I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and I've always been around a lot of friends of mine who've been real estate brokers, real estate investors, people that renovate homes and sell them, flip homes. And my folks have been buying properties all around the country. So when I decided to move to the United States in 2016, particularly here in South Florida, I was kind of dabbling in various businesses, and I saw that the real estate market was booming and people were making a lot of money. And I saw, different opportunities there. Not till 2019 did I actually get my real estate license, fully licensed then.
Nice.
And I was kind of discovering myself, seeing which route I want to go, because there's so many different routes. There's people that do just residential. There's people that do just commercial, industrial. I know people that literally just focus on short-term rentals. So I kind of dabbled in the beginning, did a few other things. I was still working on my previous business in sales. And then about 15, 16 months ago is when I went full-time into real estate. I worked with a company out of Coral Gables. And about a month ago, I actually joined with Compass here in Miami Beach. And that's where, most of my business has taken off about 12 months ago.
Wow. That's awesome. And it's so true too. There's so many different directions and things that you could do. And on our show here, Real Estate First Technology, we primarily focus on like residential real estate professionals, but there's syndications, there's so much. So we definitely had some wild card episodes on the show. So we definitely can relate to you on that. So let's talk a little bit about your business as far as like now that you've been full-time just focusing and I want to kind of focus more on how when you did get focused and you're now with luxury and you know that you're at the 1 million marker and you've been really focused just with Compass. I think you last 16 months, you said. So what has that done for your business being more focused past 12 months as far as like buy side, sell side transaction volume? Has it really helped you?
Yeah, so Compass is a great company, and they offer tons and tons of tools just being an agent with them. Their tech is amazing, and that, I'm not trying to preach to the choir, but I, obviously made the decision to join Compass based on the fact that they're very advanced AI technology, all the different tools they offer us. I do a lot of prospecting. So I love the option to find out information of a property, who owns it, reach out to them, see if they want to sell, if they want to do so. In this kind of dog-eat-dog market, there's a lot of proactive agents, a lot of reactive agents.
Yeah,
I like to be both.
Okay.
I want to be more proactive because in a seller's market, as people know in South Florida, no one's going to hand you a $4 million client on a silver platter. I mean, you'll get referrals and stuff, but most of the work you'll have to do yourself and think outside the box. Some of my most successful listings and sales have been because I thought outside the box. I either, reached out to someone through a CRM or a dialer, or expired listings or canceled listings and whatnot. So having a really good CRM with great organization, having good tech to create CMAs and marketing material for homeowners who are kind of already getting bombarded with other agents. So you got to kind of stick out and think outside the box, not just, hey, buddy, you want to sell your home, but offer them some value. If you bring value to any person, whether it's a seller or a buyer, through tech and marketing material, I think you can build a relationship with them, because that's the point. Is if you can build a relationship rather than just have one transaction, that will go a further, route, and you'll obviously get a sale as a result of that.
I love that. That's awesome. So do you focus more on the buy side or sell side, or both? Like, what's your sweet spot?
So obviously, every realtor, every real estate professional, you ask, the secret is to focus on the listings, because you get the same result, half the work. And however, it's funny, in a seller's market, I've actually had more transactions as a buyer's agent. However, I'm about, for every, we'll say 2/3 buy, 1/3 list. That's how it's been.
Nice. That's awesome. That's great. So I got a couple last questions before we go to the mix-up round and change up the camera angle. So what kind of separates you? So if agents listening to right now or watching right now, what is something that can take from, the way that you approach your business? Because it sounds like you actually worked with some buyers, had some success, even in this type of market with low inventory. So what would be like that? What separates you? Like, it sounds like you already said a little bit of like thinking outside the box. Is there anything else that someone else could maybe take from you to apply to their business?
Yeah, definitely. Of course. So I'm not afraid to answer my phone any time of the day. But I mean, that's pretty basic, just always be there for my client, guide them from A to Z. A lot of agents are, want to just be involved in the negotiation or looking for properties. They're not really present in the inspection period, or really involved with the lender or the insurance company or the condo association, if that's relevant. Just they do their part and they kind of delegate, which is okay. But if you want to build a long-term relationship, it's okay to be more involved in that person's A to Z kind of transaction. They'll be more grateful, because not everyone is an experienced buyer or experienced seller. They want to be reassured things that, yes, sir, it's okay to adjust price and lower it a bit, or yes, ma'am, it's okay to do a mold inspection, or it's okay to pay an extra point with a lender because you're getting this and the other. So you got to really educate people. And then obviously the fact that I can speak 7 languages fluently, I can speak to clients all around the world.
That's amazing.
I live in Miami. Miami is probably the most international buyer-friendly city in America, if not the world. And the fact that I could communicate with 85-90% of all that buyers that are filtered through Florida, I don't need to delegate or refer clients that most people do not understand. So I'm basically a good gateway to other real estate professionals all over the country and the world, that their clients are, if someone, for example, lives in, Mexico or Brazil, and they want to come here, I can deal with them. And that's how I kind of build my relationship and my reputation on being that multilingual agent. And just having sales skills that I brought from my previous jobs, and customer service skills, and really focusing on the relationship rather than the transaction.
Wow. I love that. I actually checked you out, looked at some of your Google reviews, and people are like, yeah, this guy knows his stuff and this and that. So I could definitely now tell that like some things are now kind of coming together for me after just doing some research, now having you on the show, which is great. So I'm curious, the last question I have, I'll say 2 more questions I have. So what are the 7 languages? I want to know, what are the 7 languages that you speak? Because I know everyone's curious.
Yeah, exactly. So I speak English, I speak Spanish, I speak French, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Hebrew, and Arabic. Arabic's the last language I was learning.
Wow. That's amazing. And you find yourself to have enough time to speak with, or do you have different friends that are in those different categories of language so you can keep up on the language itself? I know if you don't use it, you lose it. So you got to stay on top.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been grateful to have clients from all walks of life. I haven't really been using French or Italian so much. In fact, Arabic, I don't think I've ever spoken to a client in that language, but most of the other languages, Spanish, Portuguese, Hebrew, Russian, English, I use them frequently.
Wow.
I'm grateful to be in a community where everyone's from different, walks of life.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So the last actual question I have that was a little off subject matter before I give it to Dan for the mix-up round is technology, right? Real estate versus technology. On the show, we talk a lot about like traditional ways, like you said, like you're making phone calls and you're going through the process, expired listings, a lot of traditional ways that you're getting yourself out there utilizing technology. But now for the new ways, like since you've been in the business, how has technology evolved as far as your outreach, right? Like I have your Instagram behind me, but what type of technology you're using now or you adapted to since you got into the business to now that's helped you bring in business?
So definitely have a really good CRM. It's very important that your CRM could create bulk emails and just email flows and marketing where you can send out weekly or monthly newsletters. You need to be top of mind. So any tech that allows me to be top of mind with my clients, whether it's a phone call or an email or or a text message or a weekly newsletter, that's very important as well. You want to be able to actually send your clients data. People like market updates and anything that allows any tech that allows my clients to know how many listings are sold last week in their neighborhood, or how many are under contract, or how many days are things on the market if they're considering selling. So it's very important that people have marketing and data. I think those are any technology that allows clients and consumers to have this information will actually allow the real estate professional to win that business, I think.
Wow. I love that. Keep it to the basics, man. Keep it to the basics. So I'm going to go ahead and switch up the camera angle. I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Dan Gandy. Take it away for our mix-up round.
Awesome. Thanks, Norman. Lot to kind of digest through here, but from a tech side, is there any new technology that you're going to be dabbling with in 2022 that might be beneficial to your business or something you've wanted to explore?
Yeah, definitely. I think just constantly using tech that will allow me to prospect more and create more advertisements. I guess I already have a program that I'm working with that allows me to create Facebook ads and Google ads and things like that. So anything that allows me to create more advertising, whether it's paid or other forms of advertising, and allow me to have a program or something that I could prospect faster. So there are programs out there that include dialers and information about homeowners where you can reach, instead of calling manually, 50 homeowners, you can call 300 at the same time. Yeah. Quick dialers. And then there's just ways to really get to the homeowner. I think if all these barriers are removed and finding a way to get to the source, I think that's tech that's priceless,
No, it is. It totally is. I think ultimately the getting more efficient is really what you're hitting on, and being able to prospect more, increase your contacts with clientele, as well as your market intelligence that you talked about with data. What would you say is the most beneficial piece of your business that makes you successful?
The fact that I'm not scared to knock on that door or cold call someone. I know a lot of agents, even if they're connected and they're, referral base is making them millions of dollars. I think anyone that could wake up at 6 a.m. and, create a boiler room situation if they needed to, or knock on a door to try to get a listing, or, find prospects, because not everyone grew up in the market they work in, right? They had to earn and get through their contacts themselves. So I think someone who's fearless and that can find ways to just power through the laziness and the being the fear of just getting on the phone with strangers. I think that's the way that has kept me successful, and I'm very grateful to my previous business that I was in, where I knocked on doors and I made cold calls, and that was literally the only way I could make money. So I utilized those skills. Obviously, I'm very grateful for referrals and my sphere of influence, but I think speaking to strangers, I think that's the number one thing that kept me successful this year.
Wow. I love it. I think that's what a lot of agents need to hear is two things that you brought up. One is relationships over transactions. And two is, if you're going to be in real estate, is getting over that fear or that hesitation of needing to talk to people. You're in a business that you need to communicate with people. And I think that is, it's amazing how many people just rely on referrals or their sphere of influence for repeatable business. And then their pipeline has too much inconsistency in it. And I think that's can always be stacked in your favor if you aren't afraid to open new relationships and build those. Last question for me really is that as you evolve in this luxury market, where do you see your business from a perspective of building a team or becoming your own principal broker? How do you navigate what's your like 3 to 5 year goal?
So definitely entrepreneurial minded. I'm not trying to be that single agent that just works 80, 100 hours a week and just grinds until they're burnt out. That's definitely not my style. I want to focus on, leveraging my business for sure. So this weekend, I actually created an ad for an admin / assistant that would help me organize my business a little more for things I don't want to do. So the biggest thing is having an assistant. Then I can start focusing on having agents that would work with me. So I thought about creating my own brokerage, but the overhead and all the problems that come with it are not really worth the extra commission I can make unless I, acquire magically overnight like 100 agents, which is a lot of work. So I think for me, the biggest thing is I want to stay in that luxury market. I like to dabble in commercial because it excites me. I'm not necessarily a master in it. I definitely think there are other people that do it better than me. But if I can create a team of people that focus just on rentals, so so I don't have to say no to certain business, which I do right now. So if I can have a team of me working on my luxury stuff, have an assistant that could help with other transactions that I don't have time for, and then have someone that would handle all the commercial stuff who's very versed in it. I think it's a great way to grow the business and just multiply and kind of grow here in South Florida.
That's awesome, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck. You got a great mindset. You have you got the tools with Compass to be successful, and I think as you build this business, it's going to get more exciting, and we're going to definitely have to have you back on here.
I love it, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dan, for taking on that mix-up round. So I have a couple last questions before we open up the floor to you, Steven, so you can go ahead and leave the viewers and listeners with something that you want them to take from today's episode. So last couple questions is expert. So have you thought about like anything with positioning as far as like, is there any type of niche or niche market you can go after? I know you're talking about luxury, but like what's the next level for viewers and listeners out there that they could take from like advice if they want to get into the luxury market? Is there a way to reach out to them directly or find them directly or network with them directly because of some type of an event or what have you?
Yeah. So it's, you got to see where you are now. So look at your past 5 clients and see how you acquired them and where you're hanging out. I think if someone wants to go to the next step, whether it's in a new area or price point, I think they should change where they're going necessarily. If someone's going to your local bar where the beer costs $3 and there's fried chicken for $5, those are the kind of clientele they're looking for. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There are agents that work on volume, but there are agents that are looking for the next step. So if you go to expensive cigar shops and wine bars and find an activity that really costs a lot of money, like golf or tennis or skiing, and interact with these kind of people, I think that if you're looking to sell $2, $3, $4 million houses and condos, if you hang around activities that cost 30, 40, 50K to do, I think it's very easy for you to meet people, hand out cards, tell them what you're doing, as well as, there are a lot of events. I'm lucky to live in Miami. We have Art Basel and yacht shows and Formula One and everything you can think of from A to Z. Literally, we are the #1 international events city in the United States. So I'm grateful to be here, and I could definitely network with art collectors and we have cigar conventions. We have expensive wine tastings like once every year, maybe twice a year. Food, networks and things like that. So there's a lot of opportunity. And I know it's the same in other big cities. Don't get me wrong. I know New York and LA and San Francisco and Chicago and DC and Boston. These are all wonderful cities. So if any viewers live over there, Dallas, like I can name a bunch of cities.
Not as sunny.
You could, yeah, not as sunny, but I know definitely there's other cities where you can do the same thing. I'm just speaking from my experience. So, look where you are now, see how you can shift to, yes, maybe you'll have to spend 3 times as much as dinner, but is there an ROI? So if you go out for a steak rather than, Wendy's, is that going to bring you in more ROI if you give your business card to a guy at the bar rather than, someone at the gas station? Like, you got to just consider yourself when you go out for dinner. Are you using that time to grow your business as well? Or are you just having, just killing time having a dinner, a meal,
That's awesome. Look for the opportunity, go where that business is, energy flows, energy goes. I absolutely love that. I think that's super cool. That's cool. So last question I have from me before we open up the round or open up the end of the show to you is a secret weapon. So if I wanted to list my home with you, I have a $1.2 million listing. What would be the secret weapon? What would be the thing that would basically make me be like, yep, Steven, you're the guy. I'm hiring you.
So, I use my language skills to my advantage, post things in different languages all over different social media groups from people investing from all over the world, create ads in different languages. So not only, Spanish and English speakers could see, but people from all over the world, and target these kind of folks. Drone footage, HD renderings, Matterport, just things like you want to make sure that the buyer is really in the house and feels it and pictures themselves. Stage it to a modern way where not only one kind of person could enjoy it, but everyone could enjoy it. And just really reach out to the top agents who are most likely to sell that listing. So go, people don't want to do extra work. They just want to put an MLS and wait for some Joey to come and offer them, a contract. And it's easy in a seller's market. But do you want to maybe, show your client that you're going an extra mile? You want to, possibly speak to some neighbors, have an open house, which are traditional things and people do them all the time. But you can definitely have an open house. You can have an extravagant open house and attract different kind of people. And don't be afraid to reach out to other agents and let them know that you have this listing. Don't be afraid to let the neighbors know, because they're already living there. They may have a cousin, brother, uncle, coworker who is looking to move to the area too. So, people just assume things. They need to just literally pick up the phone and ask. It's better to get a no than get a maybe or wonder, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. I think the biggest thing that I just took from that was confidence. Like building my confidence to feel that you had the tools, the resources, and the knowledge to sell my home for top dollar at the fastest. And that's where it's just like, I think a lot of people that are viewing or listening right now need to understand. It's like, you got to give them confidence. Got to be confident in yourself for someone else to have confidence in you, for them to feel that you're that choice.
Exactly.
You're that first and only choice. I absolutely love that. Well, Steven, we're at this side of the episode right now. The end of the episode, we want to just have the floor be open to you. So what would you like our viewers and listeners to take from our episode as we close out today?
So just remember, guys, it's not all about the transaction. Think of your client, think of really what's best for them. Yeah, you may send them a listing for $1 million, but what if really a $600,000 listing is better for them? And just be sympathetic to what the buyer wants or what the seller wants. Obviously, our job is to get the highest dollar or, make a commission. But if you think of the person as a relationship and as a future, rather than just a paycheck and in and out quick thing, that's how you really hold people through the process. Because remember, when you make someone feel good, and they'll always connect that feeling to you. And feeling good in real estate is, did you find them a home, or did you find them an investment that makes them money? What do they do with that? If they had kids in that house, they'll remember that real estate professional who really made them feel good. So in real estate, there's emotional and there's logic, right? There's investments, commercial, multifamily, industrial. Those are more logical decisions. And then there's the residential, where your first home, your dream home, home on the water, your home with the first boat, waterfront, whatever, your first home that you retired in, whatever the case may be. People always want to connect a feeling to it. So you always want to create that when you sell it, right? So when you go sell something, like, just imagine your son playing in that huge backyard. Like, if their budget's 800 to $1 million, but you see something for 1.2, use emotion to sell it to them, because when they picture it here and feel it here, there's nothing going to stop them. Like, it's only an extra 200K. I guarantee you the guy, can afford it, right? Then if you want to make sure that you also think outside the box, right? A lot of people are just waiting for deals to come their way, or they're, calling their friends. And, like, remember, your friends are not the ones that are going to make you millions. You are going to make the millions. All your money is with people that you haven't met yet. So the idea is to meet people. So network, prospect, go out to your local grocery store, your local Starbucks, hand out a few cards. It's not a big deal. Just go up to someone, and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Steven. I'm a local real estate professional in the area. Here's my business cards. If you ever need anything, give me a call, shoot me an email. I'd be glad to just talk, right? Don't really sell them something. Don't say, hey, buddy, there's a new development coming. They're going to feel like, oh, shit, like, shield, But if you kind of come at them with another angle of, I don't care whether you do or not, and kind of indifference, but showing them value, adding value to every interaction, I think that's going to go a very, very long way with real estate professionals.
Wow. That's awesome, Steven. I love that. What did they say? People forget what you said and did, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. And that's huge. That's what came to mind when you said that. And I love that. It's like, at the end of the day, it's not always just about your next commission check. It's more about building that relationship, because they're going to remember you and remember the way you made them feel. Well, Steven, thanks so much for being on Real Estate vs. Tech. This is a great episode.
Thank you so much.
And appreciate your time. We had some technical difficulties, but no one would even know the difference. It looks great. You sounded great with the headset. So that was awesome. And I have to say, the shirt, bro, just boss. Straight up.
I love it.
Simple. The fun thing that's come to my mind is like, all right, Steve's the boss. Dan, I love it. Thank you so much for co-hosting today's show.
Yeah. Glad to be here. Glad to meet you, Steven. I got some social media clips out and tagged you. So
I love it. Thank you. I'm going to, as soon as I get off, I'm definitely going to follow up on those.
I got some.
And excited for the episode.
I got some clips too. So
amazing.
Yeah, we'll get you tagged. Check out our podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Real Estate vs. Tech. Is our intention for you to take something that you learn from our episodes to apply to your business, have more massive success. And we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Real Estate vs. Technology, this week's brand new episode, and making it to the end, your real one. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for new episodes that come out every single week on Fridays at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Also, if you comment on this episode and you like the episode, you'll help this episode get out to more individuals. And if you want to join our Facebook group page, just click a link. It's a Facebook icon on our profile page here on our YouTube channel. Join our group page, network with individuals all across the world, and share what technology you're using to grow your business. The next link is to join our Real Estate vs. Technology brand new IG or Instagram page. If you go on any of our stories, you can see who's going to be on Real Estate vs. Technology before it actually goes live on our YouTube channel. And the last link would be if you want to be on an episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. You pick a date and a time. We'll deep dive into your story and technology you're using to share that with other individuals that view our episodes weekly, to inspire, enlighten, show up, and show out for people that love to watch these type of podcasts to have more success in their own business. Thank you so much for your continued support. We appreciate it. We will see you on the next one.